welcome back to the Features. I greet you all in peace and love with no hatred of my heart. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share. As you know, we got a hella haters up in this piece. And I really wasn't planning on going live tonight, but something happened on the channel, which we will not disclose. It's only for, certain folks that know what's happening on the channel. But we are going live tomorrow, but I did want to talk to y'all about some stuff. It's like just an open session. There's nothing like formal or anything like that. And I wanted to talk to you guys about some things that are going on. As you guys know, the things that are happening in Syria and whatnot. We got to be careful when we talk about this stuff, actually, because when we talk about it, we do get, you know what happens, right? Some of y'all be on the lives and stuff, and you see what happened in real time, what's going on the lives. However, some of y'all have been asking me about behind the scenes and stuff like that, and if I'm gonna talk about this and that, first thing I want to address is that we got to be very careful. We got to move with cautiousness because we get banned all the time. We get, you guys know anyways. My day ones, they know. We can't just cover any topic that we want to, right? It don't work like that here for us anyways on YouTube, right? So there's a lot of topics that we want to cover that we just we can't do it, okay? The second thing is that why would you care about my opinion on Syria anyways? You know what I mean? Like, why would you care, like, what I have to say? I know that's what I do. I know I do a lot of geopolitics and things of that nature. And I get it. You'd like to hear my side of the story, but this is what happens. Okay. Whenever something gets hot in the Middle East, what normally happens is that you get really two big groups, right? The one group is, basically telling the Muslims, just relax, calm down. You know what I mean? We don't know what's happening. And some of them go very extreme and say this is khuruj, this is rebellion, all this kind of stuff, right? Then you got another group that really eggs on the Muslim in a manner that is moronic, and we see a lot more of those types all over YouTube. The morons of YouTube with these large channels. Y'all hearing me? The morons of YouTube with these large, huge channels, family. All right, so let me know if y'all can hear me in the live, and we're going to get down to the nitty gritty in a minute. Okay, so just press number 1 if y'all can hear me. Okay, if you can hear me, just press number 1, and then let's get down to the nitty gritty. So, at any rate, I was watching this one channel. I'm not going to mention the brother's name. I don't understand how I get some of this stuff. Sometimes y'all be sending me stuff. Sometimes, it be coming up on my feed and whatnot. And it was kind of like a short video. So I just said, okay, let me take my time to watch this, brother. Right. And I don't understand how these folks put themselves as mouthpieces for the entire ummah. And they are ignorant as hell. They're ignorant. They're not just ignorant. They're ignorant. Ignorant. Okay? Don't know their head from their crack. And we're living in a time where Islamic knowledge is fading away very quickly. Very, very quickly. Ulama are dying left, right, and center. The centers of knowledge are all but either, they're becoming essentially tools of the whatchamacallit. Tools of colonialism now. Like the West has done their infiltration projects very well. And now we have a situation where, especially here in the West, that the most ignorant, alleged voices of Islam have these large YouTube channels, and they out here talking about, these munafiq scholars, and the scholars are munafiq, and the scholars are, and they can't recite a single ayah of Quran, a single hadith, none, right? But they quick to throw all the ulama underneath the bus, and pretty soon you ain't gonna have any. And if you think you have fitna now, just wait till the ulama they die off. Okay, wait till the scholars they die off. Okay, you ain't seen nothing yet. Mark my words. So now, what they are actually doing, they're actually kind of monetizing off social media the pain. What just happened here? You see? You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me, family. I can't believe this happened. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. But anyways, we're gonna have to speak without the camera now. I don't know what just happened. But anyways, welcome to the life of the features, man. Press number one if y'all can hear me. Anyways, if you all can hear me in the chat, just press number one, please. Right. But the point is that the people who should speak last are speaking first. So if you find the scholars, if they're not saying anything, then that's signaling to you that you should do what? Should you be the first one speaking? Should you be the first one speaking if the scholars are not speaking? No, you should. If the scholars don't speak, you don't speak. If the scholars speak, say what they say. It's as simple as that. But these folks who can't recite Quran, can't quote hadith, nothing, they are egging on the Muslims into some very dangerous situations. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said in the times of fitna, you're supposed to remain silent. If these aren't times of fitna, then I know what times of fitna are. You feel me? The way that I see what's going on in Syria and Lebanon and Palestine is fitna. That's how I see it. I see it as big fitna. I don't see the Muslim world coming together to solve it anytime soon. And even if they tried, they wouldn't be doing it under the banner of Islam. They'd be doing some sort of nationality or stability in the region, and all that kind of stuff is not going to work. It's not going to work. It has to be done under the banner, in my humble opinion, of Tawheed. That's the only way it works. And it's not to say this is ideological or it's not pragmatic. No, it has nothing to do with that. If you look at the geopolitics in the world right now, the armaments that are being flooded into the Middle East, they all come from one or two places. They either come from the US or from Russia. That's it. So the armaments don't come from the Middle East directly. And there's an old saying, whoever pays the piper names the tune. So we want freedom, of course, for the people of Syria, the people of Palestine. We want good for them. We want their suffering to end. This is something that every Muslim who believes in Allah on the last day wants. And even still, this extends even to Black folk in general, that they should want stability in that region, because reparations money is being sent built in the tunes of billions of dollars to displace millions of people in the Middle East. However, the tools of propaganda have become so cheap that even just some randoms who don't know a lick about Islam have now become the voices for the Muslims and the wider Muslim community in general. And this was happening. People are openly saying all kind of wild stuff all over the internet for what's going on in Syria. So I was listening to this Dars today, okay, and the brother, he was quoting this hadith from Arba Nawawi, right? So the hadith is called Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam la yuhillu dam uh amra'in Muslim, okay? So uh it is not halal is not halal the blood of a Muslim, right? It's not lawful, okay? Illa be hadith thalath, right? Except for three, okay? A shib zani, okay, which is a married man who makes zina. What nisl? Hold on. Yeah, one nisl bin nis, right? So what, a life for a life, right? Wa taqaddin, wa taqaddin, what's hadith? So taqaddin, when he's abandoning the religion. Well, فرق للجماع, or he splits from the Jama'. Okay, so you cannot spill the blood for the Muslim except for these four situations. Okay, so what we find now is that we have Muslims now who are essentially becoming the mouthpieces for mass rebellion because of the oppressive rulers that the Muslims have, right? These rulers are absolutely oppressors. They're absolutely unjust. However, when you call for folda, or like folda is like what's the word for folda? Like chaos, right? Will you make the situation better or worse? I really wasn't going to go into deep with this, but the point is now, because Muslims in general, they don't listen to scholars, they listen to these type of folks. You're going to see some crazy fitna coming up within the next few months and years. I'm positive of it, absolutely positive of it, because the Muslims in general, they left off the listening of the ulama to listen to folks who have no business talking on the affairs of Muslims. You get me? So, but at any rate, what was I? I lost my train of thought because I was really planning on going live tonight. Oh yeah, the what's going on in the Middle East too is actually a reflection of the general uh, condition of the wider Muslim community. What do you mean? I mean that I was mentioning this on Jordan M's channel too. That Muslims in general, they really talk a good talk, like a good talk when it comes to fighting and unity and all kind of stuff. But they really ain't about that life. Not They're way too comfortable. And this is something the Prophet ﷺ, he also predicted. And I said, for example, you have like these lists going around all over the internet where Muslims are supposed to boycott like 400 companies or stuff like that. 400 companies or 200 companies, right? Who can sit there and memorize 200 companies to boycott? And you're talking about big McDonald's and Starbucks and all kind of stuff, right? And they'll fight you if they catch you drinking Starbucks and stuff. Like they will like lose their mind. Coca-Cola, you know. So a Muslim is willing to give up a Coca-Cola to save Palestine. But really, these companies they're boycotting Starbucks, and they have such a minute, trivial role in what's going on in the Middle East that even if these companies like McDonald's went out of business, Starbucks went out of business, that's not going to do anything to slow down the effects of what's going on in Palestine and whatnot, right? But if you look at the companies that are actually active in the destruction of the Middle East, like Google, for example, really comes down to like three big companies that if you put them out of business, then for sure would have an absolute effect of what's going on in the Middle East. The first one is Google, right? Because they provide a lot of intelligence there for the Zionist, right? The second one is Apple, right? They're directly linked to a lot of the smart technology that is used in some of the um, intelligence that they use over there. And on top of that, they make hefty donations to the Zionists over there in the Middle East. And the third one I can't remember. I think it's Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, I think is the third one. Right? So there's a couple of things, right? Muslims ain't about to give up no Google. They're not about to boycott Google to save no Palestine. We ain't on that level. We can't even boycott YouTubian that elites. Okay. You know what I mean? You have Muslims out here promoting actual racists all over YouTube and all kind of stuff. They're pushing actual racist. And then they want to turn around and talk about justice for Palestinians. Says it's all back. Everything's all backwards. It's all backwards, man. It's totally backwards. And Allah, He doesn't change the condition until the people change the condition within themselves. So if you're not willing to change the condition within yourself, like if you're not willing to take like that self-reflection, you know what I mean? Look deep into yourself and say, look, either it's going to be justice for everybody or justice for nobody. Because Allah's justice will be fulfilled. Allah's justice will be fulfilled with or without you. But if you're saying that it's going to be one set of rules for one people and a completely different set of rules for different people, then there will be no justice for anybody. And how can that work anyways? You have over 1 billion Muslims on the planet who are impressed with the numbers of 1 billion Muslims. And with that 1 billion Muslims, they can't free Palestine. They can't stop a war in Sudan. You can't stop the bloodletting in Syria. They can't stop the slavery in Libya. You know what I mean? And on top of that, your favorite people to listen to are some randoms who got channels on YouTube instead of an actual Muslim scholar. You're out here calling scholars hypocrites and all kind of craziness. And as long as the situation is like this, then how can there be any type of meaningful change? There can't be. For us, of course, we want peace for the people in Syria after so many years of oppression by the Alawis, and peace for the people of Palestine. But we also want peace for the people in the Congo. We want peace for the Black Muslims that are there in Libya. We want peace for the Sudanese. We want peace for wherever there is injustice. This is where we want peace. A real belief for things like this. And in order to establish that peace and that justice, the most effective and potent tool to establish universal peace and justice is adhering very closely to what Allah revealed in the Quran and the Sunnah. as much as possible and applying it in every situation. And when we say la hawla wa quwwata illa billah, when we say there's no power in might except through Allah, what we mean is exactly that. The enemy that you have is way more powerful than you right now. Much more powerful than you. They are more powerful than you in technology, in economy, in armament, in modern warfare, in intelligence. Where do you have a leg up? It's very easy for them to divide and conquer uh, you as a global phenomenon. Very, very easy. It's very easy for them to monetize your splitting. So if you put your entire religion on folks that you shouldn't be putting your religion on, like your Daniel Hikikuchus and all these other weirdos off of the internet and whatnot, then essentially what you're saying is that yes, you want to be misguided. So don't complain when you're misguided. You have chosen Hawa over Huda. Okay? That's what you've chosen, your desires over actual guidance. And you should not complain at the end result of that. You were talking about these wars didn't happen overnight, and they're not going to be stopped overnight either. Like the brother was saying that, we want to punish Kamala Harris. Like, how does punishing Kamala Harris help the Muslims at all? At all. Name one benefit to the wider ummah by punishing Kamala Harris. There's just some weird stuff happening right now. But anyways, like I said, this is like just an impromptu live, right? And I apologize, family. As you can see, I don't know, we get messed with all the time. I don't know what happened with my camera. Okay. But we're coming on live tomorrow anyways, so I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.